Imagine being born in a prison, not sent there, not arrested, born there, never knowing anything else, never seeing the outside world, never knowing what a family actually feels like. This is not fiction. This happened. And one man lived to tell the world about it. His name is Shin Dong-hyuk, and his story will change the way you see the world forever. North Korea has a secret, hidden deep in its mountains. Our prison camps so brutal, so horrific, that the government denies they even exist. They are called Kwanliso, political prison camps. And right now, as you watch this video, an estimated 130,000 men, women, and children are locked inside them. Some for crimes they committed, some for crimes their parents committed, some for crimes their grandparents committed. Because in North Korea, guilt is inherited. It passes through bloodlines like a curse. This is called the 3 generations of punishment. If your grandfather betrayed the regime, you go to the camp. Your children go to the camp, and their children are born there. Shin Dong-hyuk was born in 1982 inside Camp 14, one of the most brutal total control zones in North Korea. Located 50 miles north of Pyongyang, hidden in a valley surrounded by mountains and electrified fences. His parents were not lovers. They were not in a relationship. They were prisoners who were chosen by guards and paired together as a reward for good behavior. Their child, Shin, was born into slavery before he ever took his first breath. Growing up in Camp 14 was unlike anything you can imagine. There was no childhood, no toys, no games, no love. Shin grew up understanding one thing above everything else: survival. He was permanently hungry, every single day. The prisoners were fed tiny rations of corn and cabbage with salt. That was it. Every day. For years. The guards told them, through hunger, you will repent. Repent for what? Shin didn't even know. He was just a child, born into a punishment he never earned. The guards taught the children one thing more than anything else: report on each other. If you see someone break a rule, report them. If you hear someone talking about escape, report them. Even if it's your own family. Especially if it's your own family. And the reward for reporting? A little extra food for a starving child. That extra food was everything. Then came the moment that would haunt Shin Dong-hyuk for the rest of his life. He was 13 years old. One evening, visiting his mother, he overheard something terrifying. His mother and his older brother were whispering about escaping the camp. In the outside world, a child hearing this would feel hope, excitement maybe. But Shin had been trained so thoroughly, so completely, that his first instinct was not excitement, it was fear. And then, it was betrayal. He reported his own mother and brother to the guards. He thought he was doing the right thing. He thought he would be rewarded. Instead, he was taken to an underground torture chamber, hung from the ceiling by his ankles, burned with fire. His captors believed he must have known about the escape plan all along. He was 13 years old, and then came the moment he has never fully recovered from. Shin was brought out to watch a public execution. In the crowd of prisoners assembled in the yard, he saw 2 familiar faces, his mother and his brother. He watched guards execute them both. He was 13 years old, and he felt almost nothing. Because in Camp 14, love had never been taught to him. His mother was just another prisoner, a competitor for food. That is what the camp had done to him. That is what it does to everyone inside it. Years passed. Shin continued to live in the camp, working, starving, surviving. He had no concept of the outside world. He genuinely did not know if the earth was round or flat. He had never seen a map, never heard music, never tasted meat. Then in 2005, everything changed. Shin was 23 years old and had been assigned to work on a mountainside with another prisoner named Park Yong-chul. Park was different from anyone Shin had ever met. He had lived outside the camp before being arrested. And late one night, he began to tell Shin about the world, about roasted chicken, about cities, about people who lived freely. Shin had never heard anything like it, and for the first time in his life, he felt something he had never felt before. He wanted more. The two men decided to escape. Their plan was terrifyingly simple: rush the electrified fence on the mountain perimeter and run. On the night of January 2nd, 1005, they ran toward the fence in the darkness. Park hit the wire first. The electricity surged through him. He collapsed and died instantly. But in dying, Park's body shorted out a section of the fence, and Shin, using his friend's dead body as a bridge, crawled through. He was burned. His legs were badly scarred, but he was through. He was outside. For the first time in his 23 years of life, Shin Dong-hyuk was free. But freedom, when you have never known it, is terrifying. Shin had no money, no documents, no idea where he was. He stumbled through the mountains of North Korea in winter, surviving on whatever he could find. Somehow, he crossed the border into China. In China, he was illegal. If he was caught, he would be sent straight back to the camp. He worked as a laborer in secret for months, hiding, surviving, the same way he had always survived, alone, until a journalist found him, helped him reach the South Korean embassy in Shanghai, and in 2006, Shin Dong-hyuk arrived in South Korea, free, truly free, for the first time. But freedom came with its own prison, the prison of memory. Shin was overwhelmed by culture shock so severe he had to be hospitalized. He had never used a light switch, never chosen his own food, never slept without fear. Post-traumatic stress consumed him, and buried deep inside him was a secret he couldn't yet face: the truth about his mother and brother. For years he told the story without admitting he had reported them, until finally he confessed. When he first told me about the execution, he didn't say that he had turned them in, said journalist Blaine Harden. The guilt of that moment has never left Shin. It never will. Today, Shin Dong-hyuk travels the world telling his story. He has testified before the United Nations. His memoir, Escape from Camp 14, became a New York Times bestseller, translated into 27 languages. He has won human rights awards across the globe, and he carries his story in his body everywhere he goes. The missing tip of his finger, the scars on his back and ankles, the burn marks on his legs from the electrified fence. His body is a map of everything Camp 14 did to him, and he shows it to the world so that no one can say they didn't know. Right now, as this video ends, Camp 14 still exists. The fences are still electrified. The guards still patrol. Children are still being born inside those walls. The North Korean government still denies it. And the world, largely, looks away. Shin Dong-hyuk refused to let the world look away. And now, neither can you. If this story moved you, share it. Subscribe to CH Stories for more history the world needs to hear. Because some stories are too important to stay hidden.